Namaskar and welcome to the Sawat by DYPSEM. I am Rajaishwarya Savan, pleased to host episode 3. And today we have with us Mrs. Shrilekha Satham ma'am, Chief Human Resources and Operations at the Patil Group, Kolhapur. Welcome to the Sawat's episode 3, ma'am. It's an immense
Thank you.
pleasure to have you amongst us today. Your journey has really been inspiring. So let's go back where it all began. Starting at just 20 years old and growing across so many industries, what was it like stepping into the corporate world at such a young age?
Thank you, Aishwarya, for this question. Yes, I started my career at a very young age. I was barely 21 when I took up my first job with BPL Mobile, which later became Vodafone. When I joined BPL Mobile, I was a customer service executive, while when I left Vodafone, I was the head franchise. I was working in telecom for 10 years. Later, I decided to make a change in my career where I chose banking and insurance. There, I was working for 5 years. I worked with brands like ING USA Bank, and my last assignment was with Yes Bank. Then my health took a toll, and I had to take a sabbatical for a year, after which there was a cautious decision taken and I joined DY Patil Group. The first assignment that I got was with Shantiniketan School, where I uh, learned under the able leadership of Director Ma'am Honorable Rajeshri Kakre. After which I joined this group where we came up with this corporate house, that is the DY Patil Corporate Office, under the leadership of Honorable President Dr. Sanjay D. Patil Sir, Honorable Vice President Shri Satej Patil Sir, Honorable Trustee Ruturaj Patil Sir, and Prithviraj Patil Sir. So, yes, this group is majorly into education. But in 2010, they decided to diversify into hospitality, retail, wellness, entertainment, sports, agriculture, and then I think sugar factory, power, etc. Here, I take care of human resources and operations, where I take care of the liabilities, the assets, and majorly into execution of any new projects. So, this is all about a quick wrap of 25 years of my career. Yes, this is my 26th year with my experience into telecom, banking, and education and diversified business.
Shall we proceed to next question? What were some defining moments that shaped your career in HR?
See, I was never into HR. Okay, I was always into sales. So, if you see my journey into telecom, I was into corporate sales. Then I entered into banking as a branch head. So, there sales was a core part of it. But see, when you say sales, depends on two very important things. One is recruitment, and second is training them to sell the right thing. So I was a master in both. I was master in recruitment also and master in sales also. Sales is like training people also. So that's where I thought that yes, HR is a field which needs both of them, like recruiting right people, right place, and plus training them for the right job. And that's how my career in this group started as an HR.
Okay. Those experiences really show how growth happens through challenges. Looking back, what would you have done different as a student to prepare for industry life?
I was barely 20 when I started my career. I was too young and insane to understand that post graduation is a must. And since I entered the corporate world, the salaries were too good. So everything I got a very good kickstart for my career. But now, when I look back, I feel I should have done my post graduation and some extra courses which could have given me a one up in my career. I did all this while doing my career. So it was very taxing with respect to time, and it was very stressful also. So I would urge to all the students that complete your education first. Like, graduation is not the level. You all have to do post graduation. Along with this, you all have to do educate additional courses also, which will help you out.
What challenges did you face in the early years of your career and how did you overcome them?
I was just 20 and 21 when I started my career. Computer background I had, that helped me a little bit. But telecom industry was not easy. It was very aggressive. People were very passionate about performing because it was a multinational company. So living up to that race was little difficult. Understanding the product, which was extremely new into the market, was also very difficult. And telecom was facing their own challenges also. So customers were coming and complaining about the wrong bills and etc. And I was too fragile to understand that wrong billing. But two things that kept me going is my consistency in working and eagerness to learn. That helped me a lot.
Yeah. That's so motivating, ma'am. From your experience, what do organizations truly expect from fresh graduates?
See, time is changing. You have to also agree with me. The era which I had as a graduate and the era which you are going to have as a graduate are going to be two different things.
Yeah.
Me as a HR head, when I sit here and I look at a fresher, what I would like to see is not only a graduation certificate, but during that 3 years or 4 years of his academics, what are the extra co-curricular that he has done? Has he played a sport? Does he have a certificate? Has he participated in any cultural activities where he has been in any lead role? Or does he have any hobby? Has he done any additional courses for which certificates he has attached? So that one thing gives me a confidence that this boy or this girl has that spark to do something in life. If there is just going to be a graduate certificate attached, then I know that he's a routine person. So important for any graduating students is do new courses, learn new sport, add yourself into cultural activities. So that's very important for us when we look at freshers.
Okay. How important is attitude compared to technical knowledge?
Nice question and very interesting one. And I would like to say, for me, these are two different perspectives. Attitude and skill is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I believe attitude is very important. Because see, you have the best of knowledge, best of skills. But if you're not going to have the right kind of attitude, it is of no use. But in life, if you have a right approach and a right attitude, and you're a little less on knowledge, but your attitude will help you gain that knowledge. So, if you ask me, one needs to have, whether you are in career or out of your career, that's not a question. One needs to have a right kind of perspective and right kind of attitude.
Okay. Absolutely. Attitude really makes a lot of difference. What are the top three things students should work on their first job interview?
Well, first thing comes is your first impression. So the student has to work on grooming, how they represent themselves the first time when they're going to stand in front of the interview. So for me, first thing is his grooming. Second is his communication skill as to how good he is into interview. Because see, you are very good in your academics, but if you can't present it to me, it's of no use.
Yeah.
So how the student communicates is equally important. And third thing is a computer literacy. In today's world of AI, data science, big data, computer literacy is a must, because understand, era ahead, you cannot survive without computer literacy. or you can say technical literacy.
That's a really great checklist for everyone. Which skills are becoming non negotiable in today's workplace?
I know you will smile, but interpersonal skills are the most important in any workplace. Every person working has a set of job role defined, which he or she has to do, right? But how you maintain interpersonal skill is very important, because if you start wasting time in pulling others down and office politics, the team will never be able to work as a teamwork. So for me, in any corporate office or etc., interpersonal skills has the first number.
Okay. How can students balance academic learning with industry ready skills?
See, I personally feel this is new education policy also has introduced this. I think students from right from the first year should start with an internship. आपल्याला 18 वर्षाच्या वर लोक हायर करतात. छोटे छोटे जॉब्स असतात जे आपण करू शकतो. आणि मला असं वाटतं की सुट्टी मिळाली किंवा एक दिवाळीची सुट्टी असो, क्रिसमसची असो, ऑर यू कॅन से तुमचे समर वेकेशन्स असतात. एव्हरी चाइल्ड हु इज स्टडिंग राईट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट इयर हॅज टू डू इंटर्नशिप. BBA करत असाल तर go at a mall, take up a job for 15 days and get that experience, so that when you all reach your final year, it doesn't become a burden for you all to start working. You all have experienced a part of working every year. So according to me, experiencing internship every year during your academics is very important.
Okay. Can you share an example of a fresher who stood out for the right reasons?
Like, I have hired many freshers, to be very honest with you. I have also hired those who have done internships here also, looking at the spark they have. I think recent is the person in our mall whom we hired, who was a fresher who came to us. I cannot disclose the name since it's on camera. But his resume was very simple. But all that he did was arranging fun fairs. So for a mall, all I wanted a person who is capable of hiring, of doing something like this, arranging fun fairs. Because in an interview, I asked him, apart from graduation, what is that you've done? He said, madam, and he was that raw. And he said, madam, मी 11वी पासून ना फनफेअर करतो प्रत्येक समरच्या सुट्टीत. I said, okay, and then what do you get? I collect lot of funds from there, and then that is my pocket money for a year. So I knew that this boy had a zest to do something in life and also wanted to earn money. So these two factors won him, even apart from his academics being a little less.
Yeah. Um your journey and experiences are like a treasure of wisdom, and through your work, you have inspired so many people. If you had to give one golden rule to students preparing for the corporate world, what would it be?
See, corporate world, Aishwarya, is not very easy. Okay. Every day is a running race in corporate world. Every day you have to prove yourself,
Yeah.
because the race is big and there are many people who are into competition when it comes to corporate world. There is one thing that can sustain you, that is consistency in your work. So whether you fail, whether you win, you have to be consistent. Just because you achieved a project doesn't mean you have to become complacent. Just because you failed in a project doesn't mean you need to give up into a project. Where that's what you have to rise, and you have to be consistent every day to sustain in this corporate world, which is ruthless.
Yeah. Ma'am, you have managed to balance home, family, children, and such a demanding career so beautifully. What has helped you maintain this balance, and what advice would you give to women who are trying to do the same?
Aishwarya, this is not possible without a strong family support. So I find myself lucky that my parents my husband, my son, all have been very supportive in this journey of mine. It wasn't possible without their support. But at the same time, you need to give quality time wherever you are. You can't come to office and solve your family problems on
Yeah.
phone or keep on thinking. And once you are at your home, your undivided attention has to be towards your
Family.
family. Once you understand that quality time, personally and professionally, is a must, you will do a work life balance. And in all this, for a lady, time management is a must because the clock doesn't stop ticking. So, being disciplined, planning your day, planning your week, or planning your month for any lady who is working and has a responsibility at home is a must.
Yeah. Society has often looked at women as being dependent on their father, husband, or children. But today you stand as leader, administrator, and role model. What message would you like to give about women taking charge and leading from the front?
What message I would like to give to the students,
To the women who
to
are
the
leading
women?
from the front
Uh,
line.
all I want to tell all the women out there who are working is your health comes first. So, first is focus on your fitness, take care of your health. And when I say health, it's your mental health too. So, learn to de stress yourself, breathe, adopt a hobby. That's very important so that it becomes your best stress buster, and then learn to live life. Even if you face challenges, understand it's for that day. This day will also pass. Always tell yourself, 3 years down the line, when I look back, I will not even remember this. So once you tell this to yourself, you are all set.
Okay. So, what does networking and personal branding play in career success?
See, networking and personal branding are two different things. We can't mix them. Okay.
Okay.
But networking definitely will make you more stronger, will give you an opportunities ahead, will give you recognition, networking, because that's how people will know you, right? And in today's world, if you see, business happens only on networking. There are many companies who are running on base of networking only. So yes, whichever field you are, networking is a must. Now, personal branding, I'm not much into this personal branding because for me, my work has to speak
Yeah.
for itself. That's the best branding you have because see, people hire PR agencies for this image building kind of a thing, but that will sustain only to a little level. Why? I'll tell you, Aishwarya, because people have very weak memory. You do good, they'll remember, but they'll forget also.
Yeah.
Okay. What is important is your work. People will always remember the work that you have done. So for me, important is you keep on doing good work, and that's enough brand for yourself. So I am not into much of personal branding.
So, work speaks.
Yeah, for me, work speaks for yourself.
Okay. It was such an inspiring message, ma'am. What are some small habits students can adopt today that will pay off in their career tomorrow?
Habits one is early rise, which is this, you call them a Gen Z, you call them what not, I don't know, millennial,
Yeah.
all this. First is wake up early in the morning. Second is fitness. Third is right eating habits. I'm still not talking about academics, career, etc. Because this generation needs to understand that 7 hours of sleep to 8 hours of sleep is a must for a good and healthy body. Fifth, very important, is 2 to 3 hours of study daily. Even if they learn what they have attended today in college, that's also more than enough. Let them not complicate their life by indulging themselves into wrong habits, wrong routines. Let them just follow the simple mantra of getting up early, fitness, routine, reading, studying, couple of friends. That's it. Trust me, they'll be successful.
Okay, that's great advice. Shall we proceed to rapid fire, ma'am? Yeah. One word that describes you best at work.
We're passionate.
Okay. If not HR and operations, what career would you have chosen?
I think I would have chosen. I can't think of myself as apart from the corporate world, because from the time I've started my career, I'm all into corporate world only. So if not HR and operations, I've never thought about it.
Okay. Skills or attitude? Which one wins?
Attitude wins. Attitude wins.
Biggest turn off in an interview?
Shabby dressing is the biggest turn off in any interview. Even before you start talking to anybody, your first impression, decides 50% that whether the interviewer is going to hire you or no. Then starts how you talk. But when you enter and if you're shabbily dressed, it's the biggest turn off any interviewer could have.
Last, what's the advice you would give to a younger self?
That you have one life, learn to live, breathe, everything's going to fall in place. Just fix your goals.
Apart from corporate world, what are your hobbies, ma'am? Hobbies.
Hobbies, I love writing. Then I love sketching. Sketching I didn't know before. It was only in this COVID times that where I started. I learned that I do good sketching. So sketching is another. And the most closest to my heart hobby is my jungle safari. So every year, at least twice to thrice in a year, I ensure that I see a new jungle. I visit. I like to study on the tigers, so which I've recently started from like 2018 onwards. I've started and I've developed good interest into it. And then I like to come back and write stories which I've heard there and with the photographs. So someday I will show you my write up too.
Can you just explain your experience to wildlife?
Oh, there is lots to it. Like, cannot say.
One experience.
See, basically, jungle teaches you a lot of things. Okay, it's not about experience. When you go into the jungle, you understand that you are just 1% of what you think you are. Then the tiger teaches you patience. He is the ruler. We have to wait for him to appear. So it teaches you presence, patience. And then that is the time when you've cut from the whole world, because there's no connectivity there. You do not know what's happening on social media there, because there's no internet or data connectivity. So those 4 days are full of pure oxygen, good thoughts, and your mind is constantly looking out for these wild animals into this jungle. You have to experience it to feel it, as I always feel. So I have named it, a small thing is living in the eyes of tiger.
Oh, that was such an enriching experience, ma'am. At last but not the least, on behalf of Sawat Dipsem, I express my heartfelt gratitude for sharing your story, insights, and guidance with us today. I'm sure our listeners, students, professionals, and aspiring leaders will take away many valuable lessons. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to follow Sawat by Dipsem for more such inspiring stories from leaders who are making a difference. Until next time, this is Raja Ishwarya signing off. Stay motivated, keep learning, and keep growing. Thank you.